history remembers its heroes, or so we think. Yet some of the greatest warriors to walk this earth have been buried in silence, their stories reduced to whispers. One of them was a woman who fought like a storm, a warrior so skilled her enemies feared her name, Tomoe Gozen. Today, her story survives only in fragments, half legend, half truth, but together, we will bring her back to life. This is the story of the forgotten female samurai. To understand Tomoe Gozen's rise, we must travel back to the late 12th century, a time when Japan was gripped by civil war. The Genpei War, a brutal conflict between the Minamoto and Taira clans, raged for nearly 5 years, shaping the future of the nation. This was an age of honor, loyalty, and bloodshed, where samurai were not just warriors but symbols of power and order. And while society expected women to remain in the background, history tells us that many did not. Some noble women trained in martial arts, mastering the naginata, a deadly polearm, or the yumi, a powerful bow nearly as tall as they were. These women were called onobugeisha, warrior women of the samurai class. They defended castles, protected their families, and sometimes took to the battlefield itself. Tomoe Gozen was one of these extraordinary women. Though details of her early life are scarce, she is believed to have been born into a samurai family in the province of Echigo. From an early age, she trained alongside men, mastering archery, swordsmanship, and horseback riding. Chronicles like the tale of the hiker describe her as a woman of exceptional beauty, but this was not a tale of a damsel in distress. Tomoe's beauty was an afterthought, her skill in battle was her defining trait. She served Minamoto no Yoshinaka, a powerful samurai general, as a trusted retainer and, according to some accounts, his lover. But what stands out most in the records is that she was his top warrior, the one he relied on when battles turned desperate. Tomoe was not a symbol, she was a soldier. In a society that often dismissed women's strength, she carved her place through sheer talent and ferocity. In 1184, Tomoe Gozen would etch her name into legend. The Battle of Awazu was a desperate stand. Minamoto no Yoshinaka, betrayed and hunted by his own clan, faced overwhelming forces. It was a brutal fight, snow on the ground, blood in the air, and the fate of Yoshinaka's rebellion sealed before the battle even began. Tomoe fought like a whirlwind, cutting through seasoned samurai with devastating precision. The tale of the hike tells us she fought as though she were worth 1,000 warriors. In one clash, she is said to have ridden up to a rival champion, Uchida Ieyoshi, and in a single stroke, beheaded him. Picture this, a woman in full armor, charging headlong into battle, not as an exception but as a warrior among warriors. But even legends have limits. Yoshinaka's forces were crushed, and his death was inevitable. What became of Tomoe after the battle is shrouded in mystery. Some say she was captured and forced to remarry. Others believe she took holy vows and became a nun, leaving behind her sword to pursue peace. Her story fades into silence here, but her legend refuses to die. Tomoe was not alone. Women warriors existed across Japan, though history rarely remembers their names. During the Sengo period centuries later, women like Nakono Takeko would lead troops in battle, fighting to their last breath. The expectation that women were fragile or weak was not reality, it was propaganda, a reflection of later societal ideals rather than the truth of medieval Japan. Women of the samurai class were trained in combat because they had to be. When men were away at war, it was women who defended castles and villages. The naginata became a symbol of female warriors, its long reach allowing women to fight effectively even against armored men. Tomoe Gozen's story stands out because she was remembered at all, but she represents a much larger, often ignored tradition of female strength. So why isn't Tomoe as famous as other samurai heroes like Musashi or Yoshitsune? The answer lies in who writes history. Many of Japan's chronicles were recorded by male scribes who often framed women as supporting characters rather than leaders. Tomoe's story was preserved through the tale of the hiker, but even there, she is depicted as an oddity, a curiosity in a man's world. As Japan transitioned into the Edo period, society embraced stricter gender roles. Women warriors were written out of the narrative, their stories reduced to romanticized myths. Tomoe went from a real, fearsome warrior to a near-mythical figure, admired, but distant. Her erasure was not an accident, it was a rewriting of history. Despite efforts to erase her, Tomoe's legend endured in art, literature, and theater. In no plays and kabuki dramas, she is often portrayed as both graceful and deadly, a striking contradiction that captures her uniqueness. Her name has become a symbol of resilience, reminding us that strength is not defined by gender. Today, historians, artists, and martial artists celebrate her legacy. Museums showcase armor believed to have belonged to female warriors, and martial arts schools teach Naginata-jutsu, the art of the weapon Tomoe once wielded. Each reenactment and retelling is a step toward reclaiming a truth long buried. Tomoe Gozen's story isn't just about history, it's about representation. Her life proves that strength, courage, and leadership have never been bound by gender. She fought not as an exception but as proof that women have always been capable of extraordinary things. And as modern women in Japan and around the world take up martial arts or leadership roles, Tomoe's spirit lives on. Tomoe Gozen was a warrior, a leader, and a legend. History nearly erased her, but her story endures because bravery cannot be silenced. For every Tomoe remembered, there are countless unnamed women who shaped history with their courage. Their stories matter, not because they defy expectations, but because they reveal the truth: women have always been warriors. Thank you for watching. If you believe stories like Tomoe's deserve to be told, share this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more forgotten legends.